Last year, the American Society for Quality, the ASQ, embarked on a global study to create a baseline of fundamental quality, to understand continuous improvement practices around the world and provide a comparative guide for businesses to improve overall organizational performance. The first release of the research, Discoveries 2013, uncovered some very surprising findings. And here to tell us a bit about the survey and some of those discoveries is Laurel Nelson-Rowe, Managing Director of the ASQ. Good morning, Laurel.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Hey, first, just give us a really quick overview of what the survey was, just to kind of bring our viewers up to speed here.
Sure. We enacted this survey because there basically was not a global study of quality practices, disciplines, resources, training, etc. It just didn't exist. And so there was a gap, as we say, in the quality world to fill. Many of these research studies are national in scope, but there wasn't the overarching multi-nation status report on where we were now and where we could go with quality practices, processes, and disciplines.
And how many respondents were there to the survey? And was it worldwide? Were pretty much all countries represented, or what was the makeup there?
Yes, actually, those are some of the surprises. We had aimed to create the survey for 15 nations, 16 nations, which represent the 80% of the global GDP. We actually had 22 nations in the initial analysis, the Discoveries 2013. We also aimed for about 2,400 responses, and we have that. The initial analysis is on 2,000 respondees, and these are leaders, senior leaders of quality in their organizations. And again, this is an organization study, a company study. So it is very, very comprehensive. We aimed for companies of $1 billion in revenue and above. And we got a very diverse set. We got plenty of those $1 billion and above companies, but we also have companies that achieve less than $100 million in their revenue. So that's another opportunity for future studies. In other words, small business quality.
You mentioned that there were some surprising things that turned up. What was probably the most surprising result or surprising data that you turned up?
In terms of surprising, we saw that quality training and competencies aren't as standardized across manufacturing and services. This initial cut of the data is looking at the two big buckets of manufacturing and services. So the use of competencies, functional competencies, the use of training above and beyond ISO is not as pervasive. So our quality professionals and quality practitioners have needs of skills and tools training. We've also had a number of responses or uses of the data. So some organizations are already using the data to gauge how much they're spending per person on training and skill development. Some are saying, well, we don't incentivize our executives or teams to achieve quality performance and continuous improvement results. Should we do that? Many organizations are looking at the data for that. So I guess part of the most surprising thing is we actually accomplished the research with a good result, and it's in strong demand. We thought it would be, but now it definitely is coming to be.
Did there seem to be a common, I guess, theme is what I would think about, something that maybe tied the results all together in some way, something that kind of ran through the whole survey?
Yes, we've actually we've organized the research into 4 themes, overarching themes. And I might turn around the question and ask, are you often asked, what's the best quality infrastructure? What's the best structure for a quality organization? Now that quality is everyone's job, do we still need a department? Well, there are many centralized departments. So one of our themes is quality governance and management, how you do that. A second theme is outcomes and measurement. So again, we at ASQ are asked, and I'm sure you're asked, what's the best measurement system? What's the best approach to scorecarding? And how do you deliver and report those outcomes? Is it organization-wide? Is it to senior leaders? Is it only to the teams? Is it siloed? So that's our second theme. Our third theme is competencies and training. I've talked about that a little bit, to see how pervasive training of all sorts, from ISO to auditing to Six Sigma to the full systems models such as Baldrige. And our fourth theme, and this is a very hot topic at ASQ, is what is the culture of quality? What does it mean? What is it when you're an organization that is multinational in scope? What must you have in your culture of quality?
Well, that's great, Laurel. I want to jump in here because that kind of leads to the next question is, in your perspective, in its entirety in the survey, what do you think the data tells us about the current state of quality and where quality is going as a culture for these organizations that responded? What are they thinking about in terms of improving their quality and having that culture as part of their quality conversations going forward?
I would say that the research, well, we've created the baseline. We intend to do this type of research about 3 years from now, and then we hope to see the needle have moved. What we did see is fair sophistication of some tools and technologies in some large-scale organization, but what we have is a great deal of opportunity. We all know that the opportunities for improvement are tremendous. The state of quality is strong, but in need of a more pervasive approach. More resources. I'm sure everyone would say they could use more resources, more tools, training. Many organizations want to have that culture of quality from the ground up for every employee and from the top down. So senior leadership, executive leadership, the voice of quality is very, very important.
And Laurel, if people want to access this report, where would they go?
Okay, the Discoveries 2013 report is downloadable through the globalstateofquality.org. That's globalstateofquality.org website. There's many different tools in addition to the report itself. We're certainly rolling the research out through presentations and dialogues around the world. And this is just the first of 3 reports. The next report, Analysis and Trends, will be available in July. And the third report, which really takes the loop back of everything that we've learned with dialogues and the rollout of the research, that third report will be produced in November. And we'll actually have about 8 different spotlight reports, either region or topic specific, that will be released beginning July through November of this year. Pretty comprehensive approach.
Do you have to be an ASQ member to get this report, or can anybody get it?
Discoveries 2013 is available to members as well as non-members free.
Okay.
The next reports will continue to be available to members and free of charge, but we really are seeing that the comprehensive approach, all of the 3 reports, would be of value not only to corporations for benchmarking that are not members of ASQ, so of course we'd love more members, but we also would see that it would be of value to governments and non-governmental agencies to see where they are in the state of quality.
Okay. Well, Laurel Nelson-Rowe, ASQ Managing Director, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Love your show.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so long.